joining us today. My name is Manat Kaur, and I am an Ashoka Young Changemaker Fellow. I am super excited today to be here with Max, who is the founder of the Texas Reach Project. Max, thanks so much for being here. Can you start by telling me a little bit about your work and what you've been doing with COVID?
Of course, of course. First of all, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. This is a wonderful opportunity to kind of tell our story. But yeah, to give you a quick little overview about the Reach Project, we're a very young and unique, but very progressive organization, if you will. We are looking to create what we call a self-sustaining higher education ecosystem, a concept in where we enable all facets of the community to utilize the resources that Texas A&M has here in town, whether that be students, faculty, or the organization as a whole. We do this through a concept called weaving. We look to provide soft skill development and career-based application for university students from all different departments all over the university to give back to someone in their own backyard, to the invisible Aggies, the service employees at Texas A&M. So what we look to do is weave everyone together in a way that everyone benefits. Students get opportunity to practice their soft skills, career engagement, and really kind of become a more competitive individual when they get into the workforce, while directly benefiting support staff. And the cool thing is that looks like everything from healthcare opportunities, so first aid kits and building first aid kits, providing flu shots, heart rate, blood pressure testing, diabetes testing. But it also is looking like education as far as credit score, credit repair, English as a second language, GED obtainment, personal sustainability, really a broad brushstroke of skills that we are able to provide to our constituents. And so it's really beautiful. Like I said, we're just getting started, about 2 years old. And so we've been focusing in mainly on health and wellness. Which is interesting considering the COVID outbreak. We ended up having to do some pivoting. We didn't want to continue down a path of health and wellness during such a tumultuous, crazy time. So
Right.
we decided to really get involved and talk to our community members. And so we spent about 2 or 3 weeks connecting with as many on-campus support staff as possible when the COVID broke out, right before they were laid off. And we started finding out what their needs were, kind of understanding and appreciating the new normal as it came. We started asking questions like, what could the Reach Project do to help? And we heard really 3 areas of concern. We heard rent and utility assistance, access to education, or technology so that their children could access the education,
Mhm.
and then food insecurity. And so with 3 such big areas of need, the Reach Project decided we wanted to focus in on one area that we could make a big impact. So we decided to focus on food. And we created this initiative called the Reach Family Meal Pack Initiative. And what we do is we raise funds to the Reach Project, and we purchase family meal packs from local restaurants, and we provide those to our invisible Aggies. So we'll be able to provide food at this time of need, but also support our local restaurant industry, which has been absolutely amazing. This Tuesday, we'll be handing out our 10,000th meal, which is super exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's come quick too. Our first meal was handed out on Easter. We had a big Easter celebration, a safe social distancing one, but still did have an Easter celebration. And today we've handed out just under 10,000. And so we're excited. A little sneak preview. On Tuesday, we'll be announcing that we actually have enough funds to hand out another 6,000 meals. So we're looking to charge through the summer with this latest initiative.
That is incredible. And this is obviously a big pivot for you to go from health and wellness to food. So what was that process like?
You're right. It was a huge pivot. It was a huge learning process. To be honest, first, really identifying the need and speaking with the community, and that was a humbling process to be able to identify exactly a way in which we could help, but that also provide the inspiration and the drive I needed to get it done. And so from there, I really just started looking out what was already there. What have people already started doing? What can I do to give back? And so I kind of stumbled onto this idea of connecting 2 areas of need through one donation. And it's like, well, if I do that, I'll have double the beneficiaries, but also double the potential donations or donors. So it was like, I need to start tracking this down. So I ironically enough, I actually called a company out in California, Swinson and He, and they helped me create a couponing system where we could deliver the coupon to the family from the restaurant without having to have as little human interaction as possible, but in a safe way that we can track everything. And so it really just all kind of came together, to be honest. Being willing to ask questions and ask anyone who was willing to help, and just kind of corralling everyone and staying on track. And it's just kind of built and blossomed on its own. It's been pretty amazing.
Super. And what are the testimonials that you're receiving and the impact that you're having on an individual level?
They've been amazing, to be honest. It's been super inspiring. It helps keep pushing forward, especially on the fundraising front. But we've heard some great things. We have had some families actually come and donate to our staff different masks, homemade masks that they made because they wanted to give back. We've actually had families come in and volunteer at the food distribution. So we do one meal a week at a food distribution on campus, and we've had them come out and volunteer, and it's been amazing. And then our social media too, we've had so many families posting pictures of the family supper with the meal that they got from the local restaurant or local caterer, thanking us, thanking the local restaurant, and it's been super beautiful.
And how does it make you feel to see the impact that your organization's having?
It feels good. I mean, to be honest, to me, the reason I'm doing it is because I know it's the right thing to do. I know that neighbors support neighbors and community members support community members. So at a time of need like this, it feels good to be able to go out and set an example and hopefully inspire others to be able to do the right thing as well.
And can you touch a little bit on what inspired you to actually get involved in the first place and what the challenge is with the invisible Aggies?
Of course, of course. So this might get a little long-winded, but I'll try to keep it short. Like most college freshmen, I spent way too much time in the cafeteria, the dining hall at Texas A&M. That whole like freshman 15, try like freshman 25. But you want to what? I'm not going to dwell on the past. But I was there so often that I actually became really good friends with the front desk cashier. Her name's Miss Melissa, and we're actually to this day still great friends. And what started off as just a cordial greeting, asking how my day was going, quickly developed into asking about my classes, about my major, about my career path, and then about family. And of course, I responded and I asked her the same questions. And so I got to learn a lot about her while she learned a lot about me. And it was pretty amazing. She opened my eyes to the world, to be honest. A lot of things that I didn't understand, from my dorm room with my Apple computer and my privileged life. I didn't understand what was going on right in front of me. And so she opened my eyes to that. And there's one day that I remember specifically. It was August 26th, 2016. I was going to breakfast per usual at Sabisa Dining Hall, and Miss Melissa had actually told me that the lady who makes omelets every day, Miss Hernandez, was sleeping on her couch, and that she had been sleeping on her couch for the past 2 weeks. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, she's sleeping on your couch? Or like, I don't understand. And she told me that her mother had passed away this summer. And when her mother passed away, they lost their house. And so her and her daughter were couch surfing with employees at Sabisa, couch surfing, just so that her daughter could continue in the same elementary school she started the year off in. And that just didn't,
Wow.
that just blew my mind. It's like someone who takes care of us on a daily basis, someone who is here at 5 a.m. making omelets with a happy smile and loving face. Like, how is no one looking after that? Like, that doesn't make sense. So
Right.
right? Like, it's like, that was crazy. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out, is this an isolated incident or is this something a little bit more widespread? So I spent the next 18 months really meeting anyone and everyone that would talk to me. I first started in Sabisa Dining Hall. I had Miss Melissa introduce me to as many people as she was willing to. Then I quickly was like, you know what, there's a lot more of these service employees. How about custodians and maintenance men and groundskeepers? So I decided, you know what, every time I go into a new building, I'm going to look for the custodian and I'm going to go say hi and see how their day is going. And so that quickly blossomed into meeting about 180 people. And I recognized that I needed to start surveying and getting some information to see exactly like what was going on. So I ended up surveying about 181 support staff, and I found some pretty shocking statistics. I found um, I found some beautiful things. I found stories of ladies working on campus for 40, 45, 50 years, ladies meeting their husbands, getting married, heard their husband working on campus with them, and then having a child and their child going to A&M as the first person in their family to go to college, which was just beautiful.
Yeah.
But then I also heard really tragic things like 65% not having access to healthcare, 60% not having a GED, 55% living more than an hour from campus.
Wow.
That blew my mind. That blew my mind. So it was like, okay, obviously there's a problem with affordable housing. Like, people should not be driving an hour in a small college town to get to work. Like, okay, that's one area of need. Then I started hearing stories about ladies carpooling together because having to pay to park on campus and not being able to afford a car. And so I was like, okay, transportation's another problem. So I kept digging and kept asking and kept building community to try to figure out what was going on. And it all kind of culminated in 2017 when I decided, you know what, I'm going to start a nonprofit. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna create a way that me as a student, I can give back to those who give so much on a daily basis. And so I decided I'm gonna move forward. And I started coming up with the concept of high impact service opportunities, and then an affordable learning village. And then I formalized it, and I applied for my 501c3 status, got recognized in 2018. And that was a huge milestone for me, going and doing that. And so that felt really good. And then, to be honest, it's just been up and up ever since. And so I can say that the inspiration really comes from the personal relationships that I built with the service employees, and the love that they shared with me, and with thousands of other Aggies throughout time. And so I was just wanted to kind of return the favor and do what was right by standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves or are not in position to stand up for themselves. And so I just had to do it.
That's beautiful. What an inspirational journey. You talked a lot about community. So can you touch, like, especially during COVID-19 and the work you're doing right now, what's the role that community and teamwork has played?
Most definitely. Thank you for asking that. Community to me is very important and very special. Community can be a very beautiful thing, or it can be a very, very sad, disheartening thing. And so to utilize community for the right or for the good is amazing. And so at a time like this, the way in which you can have the best impact is by utilizing your community, leaning on your neighbor, talking to your community members and asking them how their day is going. And so community is just very, very important for mental health, for physical health. And during COVID-19, to be honest, it's the reason why we've been able to achieve what we've had. If it wasn't for the hundreds of $4, $5, $10, $15 donations we've gotten, we wouldn't have gotten to the $80,000 mark that we have. You
Wow.
know, and the beautiful thing is our largest donor is the Brazos Valley COVID Emergency Response Grant, sponsored by the United Way, which is, again, a community-based organization that reaches out to community to support other communities. So community during COVID is of the utmost importance. It's super important to remind each other that we're all the same and that we're all here for each other, and we're all experiencing this unprecedented time together, unknowing, but together. And together we can accomplish anything. We just got to stick it out. Remember that you are no different than I, and I am no different than the custodian, who's no different than the football player on the football team. We're all the same. We're all humans. We're all in this together. And so just sticking it out and supporting your community, that's just super, super important.
So then what advice would you give other people who want to follow in your footsteps and create community and make an impact during COVID-19 and also in the future?
That's a great question. That's a really great question. And to be honest, my best advice would be to start at home. Start evaluating your people in your own community, in your own backyard, and see how you can help. A lot of the times we think of philanthropy and we think, oh, we need to go and do something big, and we need to go to a different country, or we need to go and solve water or hunger, things that are noble but very hard to achieve. And if we can think about things that we can have an immediate impact right in our own backyard, we have a much better chance of getting traction, getting support, and taking off. So look for an identifiable problem, something that is highly relatable, something that will build community or bring people together, like a unifying factor, and focus on that, because every life you impact, you make a difference, and so it doesn't matter if you only help 5 or 6 people in the city of College Station. That is an amazing thing. So think local, think small. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Make relationships with people who you might not have in the past, because that's where you're going to learn the most, to be honest. And be willing to pivot. Not every idea is a great idea. And being able to admit that, which was hard for me, that was huge, because then you're able to pivot and you're able to say, okay, well, this worked well, but you want to what? I can improve by doing this, or it didn't work so well, so maybe I won't do that again, and I'm going to learn from those mistakes. So just being able to pivot and staying mobile and agile, that's very, very important.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for all that you've done for your community and our country during this difficult time. And thanks for taking the time to chat. I was really inspired by your story.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate everything that you're doing. Providing a spotlight and telling stories like mine and so many others is super important, because then you right there, you're providing a platform that is inspiring others. The reach you have is a reach I wouldn't. So I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.